Ladies and gentlemen, this is the issue 3, page 26, director's commentary. I'm Keenan Lafferty.
I'm Colton Kresser.
We're going to be talking about some stuff today.
Talk about some things, very good things that happened.
We're going to talk about these things right here. These things.
How do you do that?
You get used to it. You got to point
to the
opposite.
opposite.
Yeah. Because
perfect.
Many of you are familiar with the latest page that just came out.
Which you might be. I'm sure.
Yeah, because
I was just thinking about it. I was just thinking about it. Just that confused me because it's not out yet. We're talking about it. It's not out yet.
We literally just finished this like an hour ago.
Yeah, so
a little while ago. We took a break though. We took a good break.
Well, yeah, we went to dinner at my family's house and it was nice. Had some boigas.
Yeah, egg burgers.
Yeah, he'd never had an egg burger before.
Egg burgers are super good.
Take some eggs and fry them up. Not like sunny side up. You like fry them on both sides.
So it doesn't. Well,
it doesn't like leak everywhere. You gotta you cook both sides so it doesn't leak everywhere.
Oh, over easy.
Yeah, over easy. And then you slap them on top of your hamburger with your lettuce and your tomato and your ketchup and stuff.
Yes. But anyway, that is another conversation
for another time. Yeah.
5 minutes from now. We're gonna be talking about this page. As many of you know, it does not start out like this. We don't just explode and just like barf out this onto a page.
I really wish it did. I wish it was just like, I imagine this page going like this and then just being like,
yeah, it's just like, it'd be something
like this.
There
and then it would just pop out,
That'd be really nice. But it does not start like this. It starts from humble beginnings, such as this. So we're going to go ahead.
Sketches by the one and only and the second only.
This is where all of the skill actually comes out. Even though it doesn't look like much, I still stand by my work. And I think that this is where all of the skill comes out. Because this is where we basically figure out everything that's going to happen. Like all the framing, the split panel between Emma and Nico, the lovely babes.
The flow, like everything is decided in these really crappily drawn pre-production panels.
But professional. It may appear crappy to the outside world, but it is actually
very seriously
only the utmost of professional skill can do this. So, and speaking of being professional...
Because I
was going to say, speaking of being professional, I didn't do any concept work for the costumes that the girls are going to be wearing. I literally just like made it up.
Just slapped it on.
Let's make it... I looked up like some pirate costumes, sexy pirate costumes for Halloween. I was like, okay, that'll work. Because it didn't need to be anything crazy. But anyway, sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was just going to say, because we're very professional and I am very unprofessional...
It's doing this thing again. Don't worry, it'll come back. It'll come back. In the meantime, just stare at this nice white screen. It's just preparing you for the epicness of the next time lapse. I think it's just a big file or something.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's probably a huge one. I don't know. But I was just going to say, I'm very unprofessional because I do exactly not this. What I do with my drawings is I try to draw the whole thing perfectly, like, from the beginning, and then I just get really pissed. And it annoys me, and...
I'm not using the flow.
I'm not using the flow. I've slowly started to discover the flow, and it's nice. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing.
Hey, let's talk about this right here. What is this? Why are we putting in the dialogue so early?
Because it makes it way easier to remember what they wanted to say. Because before it was like, oh, well, let's say something like this. Yeah, that's so good. And then we got
one word. We put one word in the bubble.
We put like one word, like
so you could remember.
So we'd like remember, and then we were like, oh, this will work perfectly. And then we get back and it's like, wait, how did it go like exactly? And we just don't remember. So it makes it a lot easier, like being able to just put it in there.
Yeah.
Just throw it all in there. Okay, something like this, and then you can have full sentences, and it just works better.
It is really nice.
It's better.
It comes in handy when I'm trying to match up the character's expression with what they're saying.
Right. Because
there's a big difference between just him saying, like, yeah, or like, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Basically what it ended up being, because there's so much more to that. And I'm really happy that we eventually made Emma say, are you seeing this? Because originally she wasn't going to say that. She was going to be like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, that was me. It was me. But how it was before is it was just going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful or something like that. And then I was like, that's... As all of you know, I hate redundancy, and that's super redundant too.
Yeah, we talked about this last time,
too. We talked about this last time. It was just really redundant to last time, and I was like, we can't have her say that. We gotta have something else.
Yeah.
So we were like, maybe something like this or something like this. And then I was like, well, what if it's like, hey, like, are you seeing this? Like, like, can you see this?
Dude, speaking of seeing this, this Emma face I drew over and over and over again. It was so hard to draw her face from that angle, like tilted back.
Yeah.
And I ended up not using it. Like, I was so pissed.
Why don't you go ahead and tell him what you did? Why don't you go ahead and tell him?
Okay, well, I got so pissed. I basically wasted an entire day, like, drawing Emma's face over and over and over again. And it literally got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm stopping the time-lapse because this is just embarrassing. I've drawn this face, like, 10 times over and over again. And the reason why I was having so much trouble was because I wasn't taking breaks. I was like, no. I was like, I should be able to draw my own freaking character.
Yeah.
And until I get it right, I'm not going to take any breaks. So I sat down and I kept doing it. And lo and behold, it just kept messing up. It even got to the point where I just got rid of everything. It was just a white canvas. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to figure out how to draw Emma's face from this angle. And then I'm going to shrink it down and put it back in. And it still didn't look right. I was like, something about this, she just looked demented or something.
I remember, like, I got home from work, and he was, like, pissed. And I was like, what's wrong? He's like, I can't freaking draw this! And then I was just like, well, we want to take a break or something? He's like, yeah, I haven't taken a break all day. And I was like, what? You what?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I feel like I'm like his personal trainer. Like, if he ever gets frustrated, I have to, like, be the person, like, call him back and be like, maybe you should take a break, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
but
Colton's good at getting me to get on breaks, so.
I'll be like, dude, go on break.
I like it. Yeah, I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And then, sure enough, as soon as I go on break, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't even need that picture of it. Maybe I don't even need to draw
I don't remember
like
what
that.
we were doing, though. What were we doing? We went on...
It was just an idea that I had.
We were, like, hanging out, and you were like, what if I drew her from, like, the other side? I was like, I don't know, don't think about it, you're on break.
Like, yeah, like,
and then
Nico's
he went back
looking
and worked
this
on
way.
it. Yeah,
I was like, Nico's looking this way.
Mm-hmm.
What if Emma was looking the opposite way? I think that would look kind of cool. And, you know... Again, it just kind of bothered me because it's like, as soon as I stepped away, I got that idea.
Yeah, you got
and then
the
the
idea.
hours wasted trying to get Emma's face to look right, I just eventually went back and didn't get it, you know, or didn't end up using it. So I'm still trying to figure it out. I gave it one last go before I was like, okay.
Well, yeah,
I
was trying to help you too. I was like, we're like moving her nose and her eyes.
Yeah, I was like, what about this doesn't look right?
To me, I thought the reason it didn't look right is because her eyes were just too far on
They're
the
too
sides
high.
of her head. So maybe
They just look too high to me because Emma has like a big forehead and her eyes need to be like lower on her head. But at any rate, I was really happy with this page because I finally got to draw some babes.
Sexy ladies.
I've wanted to draw some babes for a long time. I'm like, you know,
sexy lady lag.
Kate did it for a little bit, but you know, now it's. What is this? Like, why is it doing this?
I don't know.
Is my computer just like
sexy lady lag?
I don't know what the deal is, man. I seriously do not understand what's going on.
Well.
Okay, well anyway, it might be because the Photoshop file is like open or something.
It's been open before.
I know, but this is like a big Photoshop file.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's like a ton of layers on it. Okay, and this...
Anyways.
So, back to the time lapse, which totally wasn't lagging, right? We're just taking a break, you know? Because this is all about breaks.
Yeah, we're breaking.
Trying to
26 seconds, 34 seconds.
We're teaching you about the importance of breaks. Yes, yes, exactly.
So, this next one, coming up with the background.
Yeah. I was actually working on this during the stream. I did like a 4 or 5 hour long stream.
A secret stream?
And I was working on this.
Super secret?
Yep, yeah, I was doing a secret stream.
Mm-hmm.
At least I think it was here. It might have been a little bit later, actually. Oh man, trying to get these characters, like the hand gestures that they were doing to each other, I didn't like. I was like, is he like doing like a one more, you know, or something like that, or what is he gonna be doing? I had the girl like doing something. It literally looked like she was flipping him off.
Yeah, it looked like she was like pointing, like doing this, but totally looks like she's just flipping in the bird.
Yeah, it looked really funny. But I ended up going with. Again, the very first thing that I drew was him just like pointing his finger at her. And I really liked that. But I felt like something else was missing. And I was like, oh, he should be doing like a point, but it's like a gun point.
Right,
know?
right.
It's more like kind of suave, maybe more like, hey, what's up, baby?
Yeah. Yo, what's up, baby? What's up, girl? Kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly. So, this is definitely during the stream. You're going to see like one of the dumbest Nico faces I've probably ever drawn in my life. Colton, I don't think you saw this.
I didn't.
Look at this Nico face.
You like that one?
You like that?
It's like, hey.
We should have just done that face instead. That would have been much better.
So funny.
I made it even goofier later, but
I really like the way you drew this face. I don't remember if you did this intentionally, but when he first drew it in the sketch, he had those lines going through her hair. But I don't know if you did this because I was just like, oh, that looks like she's got like blonde like.
I drew BRB on her boobs like, in the middle of the stream. I was taking a break. Yeah.
So like, it was like highlights in her hair, like blonde highlights. I don't know because I remember I said it, and then you were like,
it was gonna be a bandana.
Yeah.
It was gonna be a bandana going through her head. That's what the lines were. And then you said, "Oh, those look like blonde highlights.
Yeah,
That'd be really
like,
sexy."
I was like, "That'd be super sexy."
And I was
and
like,
she had like dark hair, like blonde.
"Oh yeah, that was what I was
yeah.
planning all along."
Yeah,
Oh,
he like sounded weird, but he was like,
glad
yeah.
I thought of it.
It was
glad
like,
I thought
yeah,
of it. Thanks, Colton.
Yeah.
No, it was a good idea. I'm glad you saw it that way because the blonde highlights did look really good.
I know. I was just like, "Oh, it looks like she has blonde highlights," and I like looked at him. He was kind of like, "Yeah,
we can do that.
Yeah.
Let's roll with that.
It was good.
Yeah.
Burb again.
Yeah, burb. Every time you see me writing burb, that's me going on a break on the stream. So, but I should be a good little boy and be pausing the time lapse so you don't have to sit here and look at the same thing for 30 seconds. Luckily, I can skip ahead. So
most indefinitely.
Yeah, the challenge here was trying to get Emma to look like she was shaking Nico. And I was trying to make her look like she was shaking him, and I couldn't quite get it. One looked like she was like grabbing him, and he was like in pain, like he's like, oh yeah, he's like squeezing his arm or something like that. I was like, no, he's not supposed to look like he's in pain. He's supposed to look like he's getting shaken. So I ended up just going with this one. This one just felt right, and then I ended up putting in the sound effects, which really helped a lot.
Yeah.
When in doubt, just write the word of the action
and
right next to him, and then you're like, that's what's happening.
Okay.
That's your crutch right there.
So yeah, if you guys noticed that it started out really like rugged at the top. These guys like sleeping on the floor and drinking.
That was your idea.
The guy sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
I was like, what if there was some?
It's missing
like,
something.
I was like, there's just something that's just missing. I was like, what if there was a guy like passed out on the floor and like one of the ladies was like walking over him, like it wasn't even a problem. Like she had she just didn't even know.
I really liked it. I was actually planning for a long time. I didn't draw him in. And I was getting ready to send off the lines to Alicia, right?
Yeah. And send that thing again?
Okay, this thing is seriously bugging me. I really think it's Photoshop because of the file.
Close it.
But then I'm going to have to open it again.
Dude,
okay, I'm just going to close it.
Just close it.
Okay, I'm just going to save it, close it, and we'll open it again when it's done. Open it again once it's done.
All right.
I have a feeling that's going to do it.
Lines to Alicia, because Alicia's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, Alicia was the line artist on this page. Thank you very much, Alicia. You're freaking awesome. But I was getting ready to send off the line art to Alicia, and I was like, oh, shoot, I still haven't drawn the guy on the floor yet. I was like, do I really need him?
I'm really glad you did, because...
I was like, let me just try it. Let me just try it really quick. And then I just drew him in. I was like, you know what? That would be so funny to have a guy just on the floor.
He's just like completely just passed out.
Just on the floor.
There it is.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, that is so funny. And it's like one of those things where it's like, it's not needed, but it adds so much more story.
It's like character
to the
whole scene. Not even just like character, but like character to the scene.
Yeah, exactly. And I really like stuff like that. See, this is me sending off the notes for Alicia there. And that's the end of that. It's still...
It's lagging just a little bit this time. Oh, there you go.
It's still doing it. I'm really ticked off about that. I don't know why. Okay, well, at any rate. It's weird because when I skipped it with the actual, like, manually skip it, it has no problem. But as soon as it does this...
Like, tries to skip it on itself?
Yeah, it's having some problems.
Maybe...
It's kind of bugging me.
It's just kind of annoying because it's never happened before.
Yeah, it's never happened before, so I don't know what the deal is. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. At the end of this one's only 40 seconds. At the end, I'm going to skip it myself. Right. And then if it does it again, then...
That guy right there...
that's Colton.
That's
Colton. That's bald Colton.
That's me. It's bald Colton.
Yeah. I just imagine it because when I drew his face, I just saw Colton. I just hear Colton saying, "Woo!"
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up drawing that in at the very end of like a little
putting the
woo
yeah, that was really good.
Like he's just having like such a good time. He's just like you know.
He's like up on the counter.
Yeah, he's like just sitting up on the counter.
Yeah.
Did you skip it?
Yeah, I did. I manually hit it that time. Could it be? I'm really embarrassed, man, because I like freaking. I built a new computer so this stuff wouldn't happen.
So we've actually recorded this episode twice because this was happening before.
Yeah,
I noticed it stopped happening when you weren't recording. So it may have something to do with recording.
That really bugs me.
But we can manage. We can deal with it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I guess from now on, whenever it goes to widescreen, it'll just be like, so.
How's your day?
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
So, I guess we could do a little background story, like, on this. What we wanted to have happen, like the flow from like the top
Yeah.
panel to the bottom panel.
Yeah, let's talk
like
about
so.
that.
What we were thinking was we definitely wanted it to be split, but I liked because when he said that he wanted it to be split, I was thinking like right in the middle. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But then, like, when he made it, like, over to the side, that was so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, where that came from, like, just doing it from the side. But
Well, I just thought about it, because originally I was thinking about doing a split in the middle, too. But the more I thought about it, I said to myself, oh, we've already seen Emma's vision. Now we need to see what Nico...
What really is, yeah.
What the reality is, yeah. And you're not going to get so much... You're only going to get so much if it's split halfway.
Right.
So I was like, let's push Emma's vision over to the left. And let's really show what Nico is seeing.
And what he's seeing is good. Nice.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nico likes what he's seeing. I like what Nico's seeing. I like it all.
We came up with what Nico's seeing.
We came up with what Nico's seeing.
But,
so we better like it.
Yeah. I mean, the whole idea was for this page to not really like reassure, but it's kind of like, it's just kind of one of those pages where they're seeing things completely different. That's why Emma says, like, are you seeing this? Because she sees it
so good.
Because she sees it differently.
Such a good line, man.
Thank you. She sees it differently than he does. So when she says, "Are you seeing this?" Nico automatically thinks like sexy ladies with walking around with some booze, you know, or something like that. And
booze or boobs?
Booze.
Both.
Both. Some booby booze. And Emma sees like all these like elegant waiters with mustaches, you know,
yeah.
people like tinking their glasses together, and so we definitely had Nico, like, we wanted to like assure that like the reality of it was Nico being like, oh yeah, I see it, I see it good. And then at the very end when she like shakes him, when she's just like, hey, like, can we go to the front, like I want to go up to the front, listen to some music. When she shakes him, it like kind of like shakes his head. He's like, ugh, you know, and then not like he's in her vision, but it like reforms that.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
it's not real, you know.
It's like I don't know, what is it? It's like symbolism that she's pulling him back
into her
vision.
into her vision.
Yeah.
Because obviously he was distracted. We were thinking of putting in there because in the real world the waitresses are, you know, these very sexy ladies, but in Emma's vision they're these guys with like mustaches. So we're originally thinking, be like,
Nico,
she's like, Nico, yeah, why are you looking at that guy? Something like that. But I was like, no, like we gotta do something else. But originally it was
like, why are you looking at
that guy? And she's like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny. I thought.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I was like, so Emma can literally change anything. She can change a man to a woman in her vision.
She wants.
Or maybe there's female waitresses too. We just didn't see them yet. You know, that's what I'd like to believe.
Yeah, I mean,
that's canon. That's for canon. There's female waitresses too.
Yeah,
but you just didn't see them.
Yeah,
okay?
They're just not there yet. You know. I mean, I'm sure
they didn't show up until 5 seconds later when Nico looked at him. So there you go.
When he noticed.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about the lighting in this one? Because it was kind of hard.
Yeah. The lighting was a little bit challenging because I had all these characters behind Nico, and I had to add a little bit of like atmosphere behind him to kind of bring his values out. And another thing that I really liked, I feel like it worked well, was just the working with a lot of blues in the reality, and then allowing Emma's vision to have a lot of these yellows and oranges. Yeah. So it just really naturally contrasts. And it looks really cool. Again, just bumming up the contrast to 10. We're not being subtle anymore. No more subtlety. No more subtlety.
It's not like, oh, maybe something's going on. It's like,
no, it's like there is something going on. It's right there, right there. So I really like that. And to be honest, I really like the way that the blue turned out. It almost kind of reminded me of like a rave. It kind of looks like a rave, like a dance club.
I think the reason I liked it is because it reminds me of Nico's bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, it was like lots of blue in the bedroom, so it was like consistent.
Yeah, it's consistent. There's lots of blues in the shit.
Yeah.
Although, I thought about the hallway, and I was like, the hallway was pretty well lit. I probably should have made the hallway a little bit more blue, but...
Well, it's in Emma's vision, too, that it's...
No,
well, for some of it, yeah, I mean...
No, in the beginning, it's not. It's only in her vision after she looks in the mirror.
When Plank and Hank show up?
No, after she looks in the mirror, that's when she sees it.
Oh, yeah.
But there were blues and oranges.
Yeah, no, yeah,
it was darker, more dingy, but... There's definitely a lot more blue in here now. So
no, it was totally fine.
One thing that I really enjoyed was like putting the light kind of coming from beneath the beer or whatever, and it made it look really cool and like liquidy. Because because I was like, oh man, it's like comic book. How am I gonna draw like the liquid? How am I gonna make it look really good? And just that simple trick of just underlining the color gave it that feeling.
It was really cool. Yeah, it was cool because it looked how you would imagine it would look. You know, it looks just like if you were to get a root, you know, big old root beer in a mug, in a clear mug, iced over, and you'd look at it.
A cider. We can say beer.
A cider.
Doesn't matter. We can say beer.
I don't drink beer.
Well, you don't, but it's beer in the comic.
all right.
Oh, but you were saying
no, I was just like implying
for you. Oh, okay. Yes. Root beer.
I'm not
for culty.
I'm not 21 yet.
Well, we're gonna be drinking some root beers after this.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I'm excited for that.
We're celebrating with some root beers.
Mm-hmm.
So Weinhearts. The same ones we drank in the 500 video.
Yeah. We're ready for some more.
A lot
500
left.
more.
Yeah, we have a lot left over because we only drank 12. So.
So we gotta get back to that. All right, so let's go in depth on our dialogue as well as some of the art stuff.
I thought this page was going to be pretty easy with the dialogue because we had basically figured out what we wanted. And then as soon as we sat down...
It was another one of those cases where we had trouble on the last thing.
Yeah, it was like, okay, are you seeing this? Perfect.
That was good.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
perfect.
Good. And then we had to figure out whether we wanted her to say something.
I fought for it for a little bit.
I didn't want it. I was like, no. She didn't. She just look at him and smile.
And she's just looking at him and smile. I was like, no, think about it. Like, think about this. And I was trying to explain it to him. And then we had like a bunch of other different ones of her saying stuff and him saying stuff and him saying some different stuff. And then he was like, you know what? Why don't, he's like, let's just scrap it.
Let's talk about what you wanted to say. The whole like, hey cutie, where you been?
Yeah,
like,
no.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, no. So I wanted it to be like she knows him. Like he just he sneaks out. She knows him, and so she's like, hey cutie, haven't seen you in a while. And he's like, well, you know, I've been busy like slaying some zombies. I've been busy.
Which would have been funny.
Almost like, you know, she's kind of like that girl, like I don't know, just like that girl that knows him. You know, they're like just friends or whatever. But she's kind of they're not really like friends. I don't know how to explain it. Like
she just knows him.
Yeah,
she's seen him around.
Yeah, they know each other and stuff, and so they can kind of like joke with each other. And she's like, "Hey, cutie, where you been?" He's like, you know, it's killing some zombies. Like it's whatever.
No big deal.
No big deal. But
braving the apocalyptic world all on my own. You know.
But then
there's other people there. They help, but
they help. I mean, I do most of the work,
but taking care of it.
Yeah. So there was that. I mean, that was kind of a bummer we didn't get to put that in, but we realized we needed
it would have lengthened.
We needed a reaction panel, and so we were like,
didn't go with what we had originally planned. That was the only problem that I had.
So we were like, all right,
let's settled on this.
We were like,
I loved it.
Yeah, we were like, let's try something more simple, and then we tried something simple, and he was like, dude, I don't like it, and I was seriously like, why? Like, why don't you like it?
Well, what did we try that was simple?
No, because we had her originally saying, "Hey, cutie, where you been?" and have him not even answering.
Right.
Like not even answering.
That's right.
And so we didn't like that because there's no like answer or whatever. And then I was just like, while he was talking to me about like the other dialogue, he's like, "Yeah, I like this." And I'm gonna be honest, I was completely ignoring everything he said because the only thing that was going through my mind was, how am I gonna make him let this girl say something? Yeah. And then I was just like, okay.
No.
I was like, humor me for a second. What about this? What if we take... Because, I am was two separate bubbles. The I am was actually down by the girl's arm.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, move that where the is. And I was like, and then just do a little bubble at the top by the beard that just says, hi, cutie, with ... And he's like, I don't think it's going to work,
okay,
but I'll try it. He's like, I'll try it. I'll try it. And then he tries it, and then I like explained it to him like how it works, and he was like, ooh, I like that.
But it was good. Yeah. It ended up being good because, again, I feel like it's really good to draw attention to different parts of the picture, which is something that I realized up here.
When we needed the clank and the woo.
Yeah. Before we put in the sound effects of the clank and the woo, it was just, are you seeing this? And then it's very natural, even though there's so much information happening over here, it's very natural to go from here straight to the next chat bubble. Mm-hmm. But if you have sound effects, then you're going to go, are you seeing this? Woo, clank. You're forced to look this entire way.
Look at everything.
And you're like, whoa, so much cool stuff is happening. And then you go down here.
Yeah.
So same principle is happening right here. You'd be tempted to go straight down here and not look at this girl's face.
Right.
So, and it just added character.
Yeah, and I liked it because I just imagine that, you know, he goes there a lot. Like, he does this all the time. You know, people know who he is. But, I mean, they're not going to tell on him or anything like that. You know, he just got to, like, avoid... He's got to avoid
certain people,
you know, and stuff. So I just thought, I was like, I was like, it'd be really cool if she just, because she was just kind of there. And I thought, I don't know, she just like had this look on her face, and I was just like, what if she just like said, hey cutie to him or something like that. Like she just knows him. She said, hey cutie, whatever. He's like, oh, yeah, how you doing? And then it was good because he's completely distracted, and so that's why Emma's like, hey, like, what the heck are you looking at?
What are you looking at, Nico?
Let's go, like, she's ready to just go, like, explore. And then you came up with this idea while we were arranging all the bubbles for this. He like moved the Nico bubble out of the way.
Yeah, I was like, what if we put Emma's starting to talk here,
so it's reality.
Like, so it's like Nico's looking at this, and then Emma's talking to him, and then it kind of like this feeling of, hey, let's go. It's almost like
him back
yanks him back into her reality rather, and I really like that a lot. I like the way that this ended up working. It's kind of by just kind of trying stuff out. I was like, what if we put that here, and then we tailed it so that we could tell without a doubt that it was Emma saying it.
Right. So that looked good, and then
another thing that I want to talk about is
we had to reword this one quite a bit too. The very end one we had to work on. It wasn't a super big deal. That one was easier.
Yeah. Another thing I want to talk about though is how this panel originally looked, and why we had a problem with it. And it looked like this. It was just these four people.
When he showed me the panel, it was just the four people, and like it looked really like empty. Like when he showed it to me, I was like, oh, of course, like this looks great because it's all finished. But then I was just like, there's just something.
It just feels weird. Yeah.
And then
feels weird about this.
Then when I came back to like work on it a little bit more with him, he was like, hey, look what I added, because it felt super empty. I was like, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So
I was like, oh man, I got to put more people in. I was like, I don't want to draw more people.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait a minute. I can just take the character masks of these people, just like spread them around, and like flip them around and change them a little bit, and then it just totally filled in the scene and made it look awesome. Like that was what I wanted. I wanted it to look like a crowded, party. And I added a person up here too, because it felt very empty.
Right.
As opposed to this, like there's people everywhere. So, so I really liked that a lot. I was really happy with how this page turned out. Surprisingly, and I was talking with Colton about this. It's so funny how I thought the last page, it was like, oh man, that was so much work.
Right.
Everything's downhill from here. We don't have to worry about this. But this page, I felt like it was just as much work, if not even more.
And it wasn't a double page spread. But you gotta give a little to like get a little, like the last one was a double page, but this one has like 10 characters.
It has a
different
bunch of characters
ones with all their faces.
Yeah. We got character faces. The other page just had them, all their backs were turned. We didn't see anybody's face. We got multiple color schemes, multiple backgrounds, all this crazy stuff. So, but I was happy with how it came out, man.
It looks it's one of my favorite pages so far.
Yeah.
And I feel like I say that with every page.
Yeah,
it's
my favorite page. It's
my favorite page.
That's my favorite one. That's the best so far.
That's what'll happen. There's plenty of pages we got laid out right now that we're just this page is gonna be so good, and then when it comes out, we're this is my favorite page, and then the next page, my favorite page.
Yeah.
But
that's the way it should be, though. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, I think as long as every page is our favorite page, then.
Yeah, we're doing something right.
Yeah, we're doing something good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Well.
Super stoked on this page and on how to.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call that good. Was the camera out of focus this entire time?
I don't think so.
I think it was. I think it was slightly out of focus. Yeah, this is what you call a candid episode. Yeah, just
what?
Everything.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, me too. Just put it out. You get black screen, you get the white screen, you get everything. I gotta figure out what's causing that though, because
that's never happened before.
Yeah,
I swear.
It never happens. It never happens. All right, but anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you guys for joining us once again for another...
You guys are awesome.
Another commentary. It was a lot of fun.
Appreciate it.
Tell Colton thanks for fighting for the dialogue.
It took like 35 minutes to 40 minutes to fight for that. I was like, we have to do this.
He fought for it, tooth and nail.
Yeah.
And I eventually
It was good fun. It was good fun. So I'm really happy with this page came out. I hope you guys really enjoy it.
Yep.
You're awesome.
Yep. Oh, yeah, and then for those of you who want cool stuff, free stuff, click that button right there. Right now, we're about to hit our next goal. You're going to get these prints. If you help us get to our next goal, I'll ship these out to you.
And we're almost there, too. We're only like $20 away or something like that, right?
$20 away. $20 away. So even if you pledge $1, and then you can get that thing for free. I even cover the shipping. So, yeah, check that out. You guys take care of yourselves. See you on the next page. Till then, see ya.